Reddit's most disturbing confessions. Okay. Confession time, people.
Confessing to something serious on the internet sounds like a terrible idea, yet people can't help themselves, and that often backfires. One man confessed to faking his father's death. Another revealed how his company was stealing money from its own employees. And one confession was so unsettling it made readers want to find the person behind it. Today we're diving into Reddit's most disturbing confessions. We'll begin with the strange cases and work our way to the most shocking. So the goal, guys, is 2.5 million subscribers by the end of 2026. Include me in the world if you subscribe, and I will do my very best to put out the best videos I possibly can for you. I'm Visual Venture and you are awesome.
Thank you, you're
The meme
awesome.
confession. In April 2013, a Reddit user confessed to taking someone's life. He thought he was safe because no one on Reddit knew his true identity. But people online just had to figure out who he was. This story began with a meme called the Confession Bear. It showed a bear that looked sad or guilty. The meme followed a two-part structure. The top line described a situation, the bottom line revealed the embarrassing secret behind it.
Usually, the Confession Bear meme just admits to small things like I farted and blamed the
Did you
dog.
guys can
or that it
participate in the
actually
Confession Bear
supports the
trend?
mess.
I didn't know
Real
this was a
fun.
thing.
In April 2013, a Reddit user named Naruto posted his own version, but his confession wasn't funny. It was far darker than anything that came before it. Naruto's confession followed the same format as always. The top line explained the situation. He said his sister's boyfriend used substances and sometimes got violent. Then came the bottom line. That was his confession. He claimed he ended the boyfriend's life by giving him substances without him knowing. Authorities ruled it an overdose. He titled the post,
crazy.
"Finally have the guts to say it." The post got a lot of attention, over 10,000 upvotes and 3,000 comments. Of course, some
That's
thought it was just dark
stupid.
humor, but
You
others
are
believed
so
it was
fucking
real. The
stupid.
comment section turned into a debate. As people argued, Naruto jumped in to clarify. He said, "There is some truth behind it, but I'm not saying what was true and what wasn't." Then Naruto disappeared again. Now people were convinced he actually did it, and that's when Redditors decided to bring him to justice. Naruto's Reddit
course they were
account did
going to
not show
try.
his real name, but everything he posted was public. So users went through his old posts and comments. They wanted anything that could reveal his identity.
Because he used his main Reddit account, which allowed the internet hive mind to instantly access his personal information, including his date of birth, job.
So, he not only confessed to murder, but he confessed to murder on the main account he used Reddit on. If you're gonna do something stupid like that, at least make a fucking throwaway.
Location, Facebook, and Twitter information.
Piece by piece, they built a profile. They figured out that Naruto was actually 24-year-old Colton Goodbrand from San Diego. Once his name was revealed, the story spread fast. Meanwhile, in San Diego, Colton went online and saw what was happening. People figured out he was behind the confession. His name and face were already being shared on blogs. He tried to control the situation. First, he posted on Reddit saying the confession was just a joke. Soon after, he deleted his Reddit account. But he wasn't done. He sent an angry email to the blog that published his name and face. He threatened legal action if they didn't remove the article, but it was too late for damage control. More blogs published the story. Even worse, Reddit users already sent his information to the FBI. Someone also contacted the San Diego Police Department. Their cold case unit opened an investigation. In the end, police never told the public if the confession was real, but no arrest was made. Later, a journalist reached out to Naruto's sister. They asked if she ever had a boyfriend who passed away in a suspicious way. Her answer was direct. She said, "It's an ill-advised prank. I know no one who has overdosed." This confession may have been debunked, but this next one, unfortunately, was very real.
I hate people. This is why you don't do stupid things. This is exactly why you don't do stupid things. Don't do stupid things. Don't say stupid things on the internet. I have to double think, triple think, and quadruple think before I post shit online. And even then, I'm like, should I have said that? Like, don't do stupid things on the internet.
The fake life confession. I've built my life and career on lies and fraud. In February 2024, a post with that title appeared on Reddit. The person behind it was anonymous. Their username was transportationok4728, so we'll call him TOK. In his post, he described how he got into a top American college by lying. He even secured a full scholarship. What stood out was his tone. He sounded proud, like he beat the system, but that confidence did not last. By the end, everything came crashing down. TOK said his life of fraud began in high school in India. He had poor grades because he didn't study. Even so, he wanted to attend an American college. So when it was time to apply, he decided to cheat the system. He forged his transcripts. He changed some grades from 58% to 91%. He created an email and pretended to be his school principal. He even used ChatGPT to write his application essays. TOK applied to several colleges. Most rejected him, but Lehigh University in Pennsylvania offered him a full scholarship. It covered tuition and housing. TOK secured an opportunity he did not deserve, but that wasn't enough for him. The scholarship didn't cover his meals. Meals cost about $5,000 each year, so he told an even bigger lie.
So, he decided to convince the college that he lost his father to cancer.
To make it believable, he created a fake death certificate for his father. He claimed that without his father's income, his family had nothing left. The college believed him. They extended his scholarship to cover meals. In August 2023, TOK arrived in the US to start college, but his lies did not stop. He cheated on almost every exam. When it was time to get an internship after his first year, he made a fake resume. It worked, and he got a paid internship. For almost a year, no one suspected anything. Then he went on Reddit to brag about a scam. What happened next made him regret it instantly. Someone who read TOK's post got mad.
Second rule of thumb, if you're gonna do stupid shit on the internet and you get away with it, don't post it on the fucking internet. If you're gonna get away with it, like, what was Gibbs' rule? It was best way to keep a secret is to not tell a secret, and if you do tell a secret, tell only one other person. If 3 knows, it's 1 too many. Like, goddamn.
Mad. To him, the confession was insulting to students who worked hard. And by taking the scholarship, TOK blocked someone more deserving. So he set out to expose TOK. He noticed something small but important. TOK's Reddit account only followed one university. That university was Lehigh. Then he found an older post showing a building on campus. At that point, the Reddit user took action. He saved screenshots of the confession. Then he sent them directly to the university. About a month later, Lehigh University opened an investigation. The details in the post matched only one student, 19-year-old Aryan Anand. In April 2024, Aryan was arrested.
The 19-year-old was arrested 2 months ago on a string of charges, including felony counts of forgery and theft of services.
He faced up to 20 years in prison, but the case did not go to trial. Instead, a deal was made. Aryan pleaded guilty to forgery. In return, the university dropped the $85,000 he owed them. He was sentenced to time served. After that, he was expelled and deported back to India. His story made headlines. It became an international scandal. Aryan was found because of a university his Reddit account followed and a photo he posted. That was it. And most people have far more personal information sitting on the internet. A stranger can search your name up right now and find your phone number and your home address without doing any detective work at all. And this happened to me. A couple years ago, someone found my own information online and used it to threaten me. Then they went after my mom and dad. That was when I realized how vulnerable we really are. I tried to remove my online data myself, but there were hundreds of websites that had it. This is because data broker websites make money by collecting your data and selling it to anyone who pays. It is insane that this is completely legal. But data brokers are also required by law to delete your information if you request it. But trust me, doing it manually for every website is nearly impossible. That's why today's sponsor, Aura, exists. Aura finds which websites have your data and requests removals automatically. After a couple of weeks, you'll get less spam calls, less junk mail, and your private data becomes much harder to find online. But Aura also monitors the dark web, so if your data shows up there, Aura will notify you. And if someone tries to open a bank account in your name, they'll tell you right away. And in the worst case scenario, you're covered by up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. Aura even gives you a VPN, antivirus software, and a password manager to make sure you're protected from every angle. If you guys want to try Aura, click the link in the description or head to aura.com/VV for a 14-day free trial. That gives Aura enough time to find out if your personal data is already being sold online. This next chapter is about someone who got away with something terrible and waited decades to say anything about it.
Oh shit.
The hit and run.
I can already tell I'm not gonna like this one by the name of the title. I mean, I don't like any of them, but if you drive a car and if you hit someone or something, stop. It's not worth running away and getting caught later.
In July 1996, a mother and child were involved in a hit and run. The child survived, but the mother didn't. The community was shaken. What made it worse was that the driver was never found. For nearly 30 years, the case remained unsolved. Then in May 2025, an anonymous Reddit user claimed he was the driver. The confession started with a simple question on Reddit. What is the most messed up thing you have ever done? Most people shared minor regrets, but one response stood out. A user said he was involved in a hit and run in California in 1996. A woman and child were affected, but he said he got away scot-free. He even gave a location. It happened at the intersection of Van Owen Street and Louise Avenue. He said he was only confessing because the statute of limitations already passed. That meant he could no longer be charged for the crime. One user decided to check if the story was real. They searched the location and found an article from the LA Times.
That article, along with others from the time, not only confirmed the OP's claims, but also revealed the horrifying details of what actually happened that day.
The article listed victims. They were Ruby Moreno and her daughter. The driver did not stop to help. He even hit another car while escaping. Ruby passed away, but her daughter survived. No one was ever arrested. Reddit users were furious, but one detail made them even more upset. The report suggested the driver was probably intoxicated, and that likely caused the crash. People wanted answers, so they asked him directly, "Were you drunk?" As the article says, he admitted that he was. Then the questions became more personal. Users asked how he could live with himself knowing what he did. Some called him stone cold. He defended himself, saying this:
It's been 30 years. That child probably has children of its own. I seem stone cold because I've already been through all the stages of emotions.
The accident actually happened, but parts of his confession...
He's justifying it by acting like he's the one going through grief. Can you realize that? He's justifying it by acting like he's the one who's going through grief. That's disgusting.
Didn't match the article that reported the incident. The biggest issue was how he escaped. The Reddit user said he sped away in his car, but the article told a different story. It said the driver drove into a curb, jumped out of the car, and fled on foot. That difference raised doubts.
He maybe stumbled upon the 1996 article online, memorized key details like the year and the street name to make it seem real, and then fabricated the rest of the story.
Just in case, people sent screenshots of the confession to California police, but the status of the case did not change. According to official records, the hit and run is still unsolved. This next person was wanted for murder and actively posted about it online. The murder confession.
That's crazy.
When someone is accused of a crime, they usually do one of two things. They defend themselves in court or they go on the run. In May 2017, one man did both. He ran from the police, and at the same time, he told this story online. The post was titled "Wanted for Kitchener Murder, My Side." This is the case that the post was talking about. A woman named Melinda was found lifeless in her apartment in Ontario, Canada. Police opened an investigation. The primary suspect was Melinda's 24-year-old boyfriend. His name was Agar Hassan, but they couldn't find him. He was on the run. Police made a tweet declaring Agar wanted, but by then Agar was far gone. Cameras caught him crossing the border from Canada into the United States. Soon after, cameras picked him up again, this time in Pennsylvania. He was seen taking a license plate from a parked car. Police believed he was heading toward Mexico. They spread his wanted posters across the internet. While on the run, Agar went on Reddit. He wrote a long post telling his side of the story. In the post, Auger admitted to ending his girlfriend's life, but he claimed it was an accident, that he did it in self-defense. He also said he wasn't planning to run forever. He just needed time to process everything before turning himself in. He also shared photos and messages between himself and Melinda. The Reddit post went viral. It seemed like a Hollywood movie, a wanted suspect explaining his side on Reddit. Police saw the post and called it potential evidence. Soon after, Auger's Reddit account was suspended, but it didn't matter. Screenshots of his confession spread everywhere. Meanwhile, police waited. In his confession, Auger promised to surrender, but he never did.
She took the same elevator every day.
Because once they figure out they're on the run and that they can't get caught, if they're smart about it, they're never gonna turn themselves in. It reminds me of that fucking Facebook dude who was like, yeah, I'm gonna turn myself in, and he was literally commenting on his own warrant post. And he never did.
Who could really say?
Like, people are so stupid.
Explore your story.
For 2 months, Auger stayed out of sight, but he did not stay quiet. He kept posting online. On Instagram, he shared a photo of himself and Melinda. The caption read, "I regret every negative thing I ever did to you." Then he did something heartless. He sent a message to Melinda's mother, blaming her for the murder. He used a new account and pretended to be a stranger.
Just an outsider looking in. Sorry about what happened to your daughter. However, it seems like this could have been avoided had you not let her stay in the apartment after he broke in the first time. Partially your fault.
Around the same time, a separate case was unfolding in Texas. The Secret Service was investigating a counterfeit money operation. Their investigation led them to an address in San Antonio. Officers raided the location and detained several suspects. One of them was Auger Hassan. They found him by chance. He was arrested immediately. In 2018, Auger was extradited to Canada to face trial. Years later, a verdict was reached.
Auger Hassan has been found guilty of second-degree murder in the 2017 killing of his ex-girlfriend Melinda Visilia.
He was sentenced to life in prison. The person in our next chapter convinced millions of people that they were being robbed. The whistleblower's confession. In January 2026, a Reddit user accused food delivery apps of scamming customers. He said he knew because he was a software developer at a big delivery company, so he wrote a long post exposing everything. When you place a food order for delivery, you often see extra charges. Each one is supposed to do something different. One is called a priority fee. Paying it is supposed to move your order to the front of the line. That means you get your food faster. Another is called a driver benefit fee. This fee is meant to help support drivers, like helping with healthcare or insurance. But this anonymous person on Reddit claimed it was all a lie. The post was titled, "I'm a developer for a major food delivery app. The priority fee and driver benefit fee go 100% to the company. The driver sees $0 of it." Then he explained how the supposed scam worked. He started with the priority fee. He claimed the app slows down normal orders on purpose. So when you pay for priority, your order is not actually sped up. It just removes the delay the app created.
What you're getting is a delay when you choose the regular option of up to 10 minutes, but there's no delay if you choose the priority order.
In other words, the fee is not for faster service. It is to avoid the delay that was added in the first place. Then he shifted to drivers. He said the food delivery companies take advantage of them. According to him, the app tracks driver behavior. Then it assigns something called a desperation score for each driver.
If a driver usually logs on at 10 p.m. and accepts every garbage $3 order instantly without hesitation, the algo tags them as high desperation.
Once a driver is labeled desperate, the system stops giving them high-paying orders. The logic was simple. If a driver will accept low pay, there is no reason to offer more. So the app keeps sending them low-paying orders. Then he moved to tipping. He said the app can predict which customers will tip well. When that happens, the company lowers the base pay for that delivery driver.
The result is that your generosity isn't rewarding the driver, it's subsidizing us. You're paying their wage so we don't have to.
Finally, he explained the driver benefit fee. Most people believe this money goes toward drivers' welfare. The post claimed it does not.
In reality, that money goes straight to a corporate slush fund used to lobby against driver unions.
The company just keeps all of it. The confession went viral. It got over 87,000 upvotes. Someone shared a screenshot of the confession on X. It got 37 million views. People were angry. One wrote, "I pay the extra for priority on every single order and never tip less than 30% for these apps. So knowing it's not actually helping any of the people really annoys me." People started deleting their food delivery apps in protest. DoorDash and Uber Eats were hit the hardest. It was a serious problem. The companies had to do something to save the situation. The Reddit post didn't mention a specific food delivery app, but many felt the pressure.
It just said any food delivery. Like, that I can see where, like, a part of me would have believed it almost. But now that, like, I'm watching and learning how the internet works, like, unless they give specifics, like details, it's more than likely not true.
To respond. An Uber Eats official said the claims were completely made up. Then DoorDash spoke up.
DoorDash is lashing out at a viral Reddit post that may or may not be referring to his company.
The CEO said this was not happening at his company. Still, people weren't convinced.
Quite an emotional response for something that has nothing to do with you, am I right?
Drivers also shared their views. Some said the claims matched what they experienced.
If you asked 1,000 drivers on the street, 995 of them would say, "Yeah, I experienced that."
At that point, a reporter decided to investigate the story. His name was Casey Newton. Newton reached out to the Reddit user who made the post. He asked for proof that the claims were true. The whistleblower sent a photo of an Uber Eats employee badge. The name was blurred to protect his identity. He also sent an 18-page internal document from Uber Eats.
The Reddit poster gave him what he claimed was an 18-page internal Uber memo, each page marked confidential.
The document supported every claim perfectly, but the reporter was uneasy. Why would a company be dumb enough to write something like this? It would obviously get them into trouble.
It was sort of a cartoon villain's document about how you would exploit a human being to the absolute max.
Sorry.
Newton decided to fact check. It turns out the badge itself wasn't real.
I would later learn that it had been generated by AI.
He checked the document too. It was also AI generated. Newton published his findings in an article, debunking the AI food delivery hoax that fooled Reddit. He explained how the entire Reddit confession was false. Shortly after, Reddit moderators removed the post. No one knows who the whistleblower was or why he made a fake confession. Thankfully, the story was proven false. Despite that, many people still believe the claims are true. This next chapter is about a childhood secret that someone carried for 30 years before finally confessing. The missing person's confession. In 2016, a question appeared on Ask Reddit. To those who have accidentally ended someone, what went wrong? One reply was from a man with a 30-year-old secret. He wanted to come clean about something bad he did as a kid. He began by describing his childhood in Missouri. He and his friends had a secret hangout near a dirt cliff. One afternoon, they went there as usual, but someone was already sitting in their special spot. It was another boy from the neighborhood. He had a learning disability. They told him to leave. He refused. The boy started throwing dirt and stones. The group reacted by chasing him. The boy ran near the edge of the cliff, and then the unthinkable happened. He fell. You can guess what happened. The boys made a pact. They would never talk about it. For years, they kept that promise. But the silence didn't last forever. 30 years later, one of the boys shared the story on Reddit. The post got a lot of attention, but one detail made readers suspicious. In the confession, he wrote that his memory gets pretty fuzzy around the moment of the fall, like he wasn't sure how it really happened.
Led many people to believe that maybe him or one of the other boys actually pushed him.
People also questioned how they kept the secret for so long. If it was an accident, it would be hard to cover up.
I cannot imagine a world where nobody would go home and cry. Like, you'd be crying to your parents about what happened.
Some began to wonder if it was not an accident at all. They wanted to find the person behind the post. Then they found a way. They realized the confession included a photo of the general area where the fall occurred. The image showed the cliff, and that gave them a starting point. Internet detectives got to work. They studied the landscape in the photo. Soon they traced it to St. Charles in Missouri. From there, they searched old missing persons cases in that area. They found a possible match, a boy named Scott Clisholti. He disappeared in June 1988.
30 years ago today, 9-year-old Scotty Clisholti vanished without a trace. He hasn't been seen since, but
According to reports, Scott went into the woods to play. He never came back. Over time, the case went cold. Reddit users believed this case was linked to the Reddit confession. The timing matched, the location matched, the cliff in the photo was only a mile away from where Scott was last seen. They were so certain that they contacted the police.
The person that was finding all this information out actually did report the post to law enforcement in case this could help them solve a missing persons case, but nobody ever heard back.
But investigators weren't convinced. They believed Scott was kidnapped.
The information on the Reddit thread, it was forwarded to law enforcement. However, it seems the police are still going with the abduction theory.
The Reddit confession did not help solve the case. Scott Cleaschulte is still missing. The post was later deleted, and the Reddit user behind it was never heard from again. This next confession is about a dark web criminal who never got caught but felt guilt for the rest of his life. The dark web confession. This confession came from a criminal on the dark web, but he wasn't confessing because he felt bad about breaking the law. He was admitting to a mistake that led to multiple people losing their lives. The Reddit post was titled, "I am responsible for the demise of several people." To explain what happened, he started from the beginning. He said he never wanted a corporate job, so he chose a different path. He started selling illegal substances, but meeting buyers in person made him uneasy. He was afraid of getting arrested, so he moved everything online. He found a marketplace on the dark web and created a vendor profile. Orders started coming in. The business grew fast.
Things were going well, and even upgraded from selling just 3 substances to shipping several much more potent options as well.
He tracked every order using an Excel spreadsheet. Over time, he focused on 2 main substances. Both were powders. They looked the same, but they were very different. One was less harmful. The other was extremely dangerous, especially if too much was taken. The vendor handled everything himself. He checked orders, packed them, and shipped them out. The process wasn't perfect though, and one day it failed. While packing orders, he mixed up the 2 identical substances. He sent the wrong product to the wrong people. What happened next was tragic. He didn't realize the mistake for some time. He kept running his business like normal. Then a message appeared in his inbox. A customer complained that their friend passed away after using the product. That's when the vendor checked his supply and realized the mix-up. As time passed, he learned the full impact. 4 buyers who received the wrong package passed away. He said he was overwhelmed with guilt, so he shut down his dark web store immediately. After that, he got a job at a restaurant. He said he never sold substances again, but the guilt stayed with him. After reading his confession, many users responded. Most showed support. They gave advice, showed sympathy, and told him to seek therapy. The confession is still online as of today.
See, like, I feel bad. Like, he got clean, he did better, but people died. And that's still not okay. Like, he needs therapy, definitely.
Confessions didn't destroy people's lives. Their choices did. The confession was just the moment the world found out. So my friends, make the right decisions even when no one is looking. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, I have a video about the most disturbing mysteries that Reddit users actually solved. We talk about a man who woke up next to a dumpster with no idea who he was, a guy being slowly poisoned in his own home, and how Reddit users came together to solve a murder. Click right here to watch it. Love you guys. Peace.
I'm gonna stick to my one content creator a day. But fuck. That was crazy. That was crazy, YouTube. That... What are your darkest actually don't. I don't want to know. I want to know, but I don't want to know. Like... What are your guys' confessions? Nothing too dark. Like, for real, don't make it disturbing. Don't make any, like, legal things happen in my chat. But give me some confessions. Give me some confessions. Alright.